So, what's up, guys? This is Praise FX. So, today we have CPI. I think the next 30 minutes, we're going to try to analyze and see how everything goes. So, I think we are going to start with DXY. Then, after the DXY, we'll have to deal with EU and GU. Then gold if we get time. So, in most cases, we know that when a DXY is buying, XUSD pairs are selling, right? So if the one is selling, then we'll be buying. So we are going to first do some top-down analysis from the DXY so that we can know where we are really heading. I'm just going to remove all these so that we can be on the clear point of interest, right? So we're just going to start from the monthly, and let me hope my candlesticks are so much clear. I really try as much as possible to simplify this so that we can be on the same page, right? Now, this is the DXY, right? So, what makes us come on the monthly time frame is not that because you're going to take a trade based on the monthly time frame, but it simply shows that we want to understand the market movement, right? So when you see on the clear movement from the previous chart, you realize that we broke this high, and whenever there is a break of structure, in simple terms, you wait for the market to come back at your point of interest, or let's say your discount, those who trade premium and discount levels, or maybe your demand zone, right? And we always say that in most cases, something that we normally consider as a discount level, not until it goes below the 50% fib level, or maybe in the premium in the discount level. So in this moment, I'm just going to use the fib tool. Just imagine from the start that broke this high up to where it started retracing, and this was like the last confirmation of a retracement that now we would be dealing with the retracement, right? So this was a confirmation from the monthly. Now, if you look clearly, you realize that the market created a low here. This first low, it went below the 50% or the 5 level fib level. That means it was so much eligible for a discount level, to be known that price retraced up to the discount level, this one, right? This first touch, it came, then boom, it pushed away. Now, what we are supposed to do is that you always have to wait. Let me just remove that. You wait for the market to come and give you a clear structure so that you can continue buying, targeting this high. But remember, we are on the monthly time frame. We're just going to do this so that we can understand the market, right? We can understand and have a clear view. That means there is this high that we don't know when the market is going to come. It might take years, it might be quick. So for us, what we are basing on is that we just want to see, sorry, we just want to see what the market is doing. Okay. Now let me remove this, and also this would be the most recent swing low. That is what we can see and identify on the monthly chart. We just need to make things look so much simple, right? Now, when we dive into the weekly, I will show you what is the most probability that might see in the market. And I always tell people that whenever you're on the market and you're doing a higher time frame perspective analysis and the market does not match what you're doing on the higher time frame, the lower time frame, you'll be messing up something. Now you'd see when the retracement after confirming here, price retested at this level, then the sellers, it became push, they created a low, a low and a high. These were the equal highs that were there before. That means this was a serious point of interest that now we might be pushing away, right? So they cleared them out, right? This was a sweep, and also they gave a market structure shift, or you call it a George or a break of structure, it depends, as long as you understand how things work. And if we are to determine what caused the break of structure, when we come into the discount levels, looking for the demand, a clear demand, just come and draw our demand maybe from here, boom. So what do we see here? That price came, break structure, it now created a new high that it needs to be taken out. This looks as liquidity, right? Now I think this looks more much clear, right? Now, what do we have here? I want you to follow me that you see, we came, broke structure, we retested, but we didn't retest as much as possible. But it's a retest. If it would have given a clear structure on the lower time frame, it will be a great push. Now we are still here, right? Now, what do we have here? We have this liquidity that is lying above here, and also we have it below here. I'm just going to type something here. We have this liquidity as a swing high, right? And we also have these equal lows. Why? Price has tested these as much as possible, right? That means the next time price comes back, they will need to clear them out if we are to consider the buys. Okay, now we're just going to use this little bit of information, this one here, so that we can know what will be our next move. Because yes, price here indicates that we tapped into the demand zone from the weekly time frame, but still the momentum hasn't shifted from the sellers to the buyers, though the buyers have shown their interest in the market, right? Now, simply go to the daily. I'll always tell you, simplify these things to make things look more much simple as eating or drinking water. Now, you see, this was the last push, right? This push indicated that yes, we tapped into this zone, pushed away, right? Clearing that now the momentum from the buyers on the daily time frame must be now have been pushing to the time of the buyers, right? And what happened is that price, you always wait for price to come back here, of which you will see that the more we go in the lower time frame, you realize that price came back, retested, and anyone that would be buying here, or people who bought here, their first target would be this zone, this area of which the market hasn't tapped in. Are we together? Now, what do we have here so far? We're just considering this as a lower time frame. We more have more of liquidity at this level, right? We have more of liquidity at that level, and now we're going to be dealing with this. Now, let's dive into the H4. The H4, what does the H4 shows? The H4 simply shows that the market retested and then it entered. That means someone would be waiting for a buy at this level. And what do we have right now here? We have what we call inside liquidity at this level. Price has not yet failed. So it's like this, when the push from the downside here fails to take away this low, that means it becomes a weak high to be taken out in the next move. But as we were riding into this level, price came, whatever price has created, it is a trap at that level, that whatever is might be coming it will have to take out people. So, and what do we have here inside? We realize that price was pushing to the buys because we have liquidity here. So that means by all means, whatever comes in the market here, gonna be targeting either there is this liquidity here and also there is this one. So we have liquidity of two times, right? Why do I spend a lot of time on DXY? Because if you understand DXY, it will be simply for you to master the other traders, because this is one that gives direction on those pairs. All together. Now, this is where we have, and now this is where the logic comes in. What happened here? It is what we call the structure shift. The momentum shifted from the buyers from this level to the sellers, because you would see that here it gave an indecisional candle, and then here price decided. So we have liquidity that is lagging here with some, maybe with some sort of imbalances here. I think this is some imbalance. Actually, there is no imbalance here. Right now, let's go to the H1, and we see, and I think that's where we're gonna stop. What we realize that as market was pushing away, it created an inside structure. Let's see how the buy came in. It has not yet even retraced, now we have to depend on this breakout structure, right? That means we are in a retracement. Now we just consider, I'm just going to consider as a breaker structure. Let me just consider this. This is how I look things. I'm seeing things. There is this zone that maybe might fall the price. Alright, so if chances are given, and why am I considering zone? That maybe it was a failed zone from the higher time frame, from the lower time frame, sorry. If you go on the 15-minute chart, you'll see it clearly that was there. So that means if it fails to hold the price, then the buyers are going to be the market. Now, let's assume that this zone manages to hold the price. Maybe the nearest target will be this low. This one, that would be giving like a 1 to 3, or even a 1 to 3, or even something almost a 1 to 10. So it depends. You can see that it is really worth of taking if it's happened to be given the market, right? So that is the first consolidation. But you would take more much clear position, right? You would take more much clear position, as I always tell people, that always wait to see how the market is going to react, the after effect, because in most cases whenever CPI comes in, it always tends to come with momentum, right? Or it makes what we call a downward, vanishes you up, and it also comes for you down. Why would I tell you that? Because there is some imbalance that was left here, of which we really don't know what the market, if either the market is going to fill it, this one, if either the market is going to fill it and tap into that zone, or push down. So that is it. Now we are just going to look into gold. Actually, let us go on EURUSD, because gold will sweep you out, and it is a commodity. In most cases, it is so hard to determine. Now, let's just start not very far. Let's also start from the weekly so that we can know where we are heading. Now, whatever you see on the weekly is, you realize that price adapt into this zone, right? For the sellers, that is a long-term sellers for sellers, depending on this breakout structure. Then it also created this sorry, created this sell side liquidity, but this is the weekly. But we only use the high time frame so that we can understand where we are heading. I always tell you guys, make things, but however much we tapped into this zone, price hasn't given a momentum shift, right? Though we tapped in the selling zone, that's why all you can see those reaction. But the market has not yet shifted momentum from the sellers to the buyers, right? From the buyers to the sellers. Now, once we dive into the daily, you see where the market is lying. It is trying to build a new bullish candlestick. That means if today closes as a bullish day, we are going to be coming for all these liquidity here. But right now, we are trying to focus on what is going to be happening in the market. Now, as you can see, there is, show you, there is this supply zone. I don't know if you can see it, but let me make it on H4 hour, sorry, demand zone. So you would see here there was a zone that price broke. This was like the last break. This. So we tend to use this as a breakout structure and realize that the market came back at this level. So that level that I shown you that we need to break if we are to manage into sellers. But what has been provided is that you see that price has get so that means one, you see, after giving that push, the H1 consolidated a lot. So you didn't expect that price, if price comes back here, you will be taken out, right? You will be taken out. Either now chances might be given that price needs to be from this zone or pushes away from that zone, right? Or it will just need, so because when we come back on the H4, you realize that price created a strong momentum for the bulls, and it is on a serious zone. That means here you will be just going to be taken out, as simple as that. Now, what is my advice? My advice is that you account is small and you have heart pressure. You just wait for the market and you see what the market is going to be giving. You understand? But here, to me, right now, you could see that goods are more in the market than the buyers. If you're focusing on the H4, and meaning that this guy is buying, the DXY is going to be selling. Now, let me give just a little bit of clue on what gold is providing, of which gold is so much crazy, right? Now, I always tell people that when DXY is selling, gold and USD pairs that might be selling, but what happens here, in most cases, they tend to be different because these are gold is a commodity. Anyway, my minutes are done. Let me welcome Mustafa.
Yes, guys, hello. Yeah, we lucky have like 9 minutes to the event, and me, I just want to share on the fundamental bit. I know we have very little time. We're also going to be brief, but these are the indicators that we have. We have three releases in one. That is the core PPI, core CPI month on month, the CPI month on month, and the CPI year on year. CPI is a very, very great indicator for inflation if you don't know. Now, if you look at the month on month core, what is being forecasted is uh, a no change by the previous is the same as the forecast. Then also the CPI, also no change. But then when we look at the year on year, there is a change whereby it is actually showing that there are greater signs that we might have a weak dollar. Yeah, there are signs which are showing that the dollar might weaken ahead of what we are going to face. Now, that is what I'm seeing on the fundamental bit. Then also, there is also elections in America, whereby that is something which is being looked at by most of the investors. So at the moment, if people are to buy the dollars, yes, it wouldn't be bad, but it would not make a lot of sense to me. Yeah. Uh, when we go on the charts, since I have very little time, I'm going to just have a walkthrough, or I'm just going to have some small walkthrough based on the time frames, and I'm going to use USDJPY. This is what I'm going to base on my analysis. So, looking at the big picture. Now, the big picture, USDJPY just took out this low there, and it is still in a bullish range, or whereby we are still looking at a bullish move overall. But if you keenly look at that trend line which was broken and properly retested, it is higher chances that however much we are in a good buy zone, whereby most people can be looking at that, there are higher chances that price will at least break furthermore to the downside based on what is happening in the US economy. So, looking at that, I go in with what is being forecasted. I look at an anticipation of selling the dollar mainly, yeah, in the coming news event. So, on the lower time frame, I was among those guys who were buying the buying USDJPY. These zones here, I was buying it, but uh, greatly disappointed, whereby it failed to break any high. And if it is to do so today, it would be a very big surprise based on how I personally trade. It would be a very, very big surprise if it breaks those highs today. So even structure wise, however much bulls are there, but something of a sort wouldn't be bad. And currently retesting the previous level of resistance. So personally, I'm not eyeing at a lot, rather than I'm looking at a bearish dollar. So if it gives us that bearishness, well and good. If it doesn't, we look on otherwise. Yeah. So far, we have, I think, 4 minutes to go. So I won't elaborate a lot, but bias wise, that's what I'm looking at. I'm not going against what is being said. And if it pays, it will pay. If it doesn't, then it's also fine. Because this is an event. You can expect something, and then what happens is otherwise. So that's my brief analysis. It's not that broad. I've not done a lot because I only looked at the economic indicators, what is being forecasted, and the current structure on USD/JPY. Yes, there are chances that price can retrace furthermore, okay, like this. Then it expands to the extreme zones. But still, since we always have what they call the impact and the impact can do the buy, but then the effect overall goes in for the sales. So that's my brief analysis. It's not too complex and it's not that too big. If it comes through and it's a win, I will welcome it. Even if it's a loss, I will also take it in. So that is humbly what I'm looking at personally. So it's just like 2 minutes to go. So everyone can appreciate what they are looking at, either on the buy side or the sell side. But personally, I'm not deviating too much from this. However much it can do the otherwise, but since it's an event, let's wait and see what the market has to offer. Okay, so I've not broken down a lot because of little time, but to me that's what I'm seeing, or that's what I'm eyeing. I'm eyeing that strictly. So guys, don't forget to use Tamam. Yeah, use TBS, very good and reliable broker, especially during these high volatile times. So guys, I think to me that is all I'm eyeing for.
the sweep reacted. If this thing closes, that means the sellers have now come back. A moment. So this thing gave a sweep. Those are 3 minutes of the news. Just wait and see the reaction, because what happened here, has cleared this high. This industry, and after a sweep, there may be first option can come in. Now this is the effect after this level. Just stop loss there. Then I will be targeting this. So is it worth it? That is like a 1 to 2 risk to reward. It's not really worth it. Maybe if you continue targeting this, that can be some good, of which it's not so much clear. Maybe here, to make it simple, you rather wait and see the closure, because 1 minute can be confusing, but if it's possible, you wait for the closure of the 5-minute candle. Now, if we manage to get a 5-minute candle closing below here, that's when you realize that now the sellers are back in the market. Now the CPI effect would be a double-edged sword that I told you. You understand? And if the DXY sells, that means the pair will be buying. If it does not happen to enter consolidation, because remember we have to get real data on H1 close. But at the moment that it shows, it has just inflated the other imbalance that I was telling you, this one. As simple as that. Let's go on gold and I show you something. Now you see gold, what we had here. This is level. No matter what time it takes, you see, price has played alongside that level as much as possible. Now these are equal highs. Trust me, price, even if price does not break it right now, it will have to come back. Right? Will have to come back and break them down. Because if you look at into below here, there is nothing. Those are those equal alerts. So we are playing around into this area. And maybe for the more confirmation of sellers, the closure. What a closing. So now, when we come here on the H1, still that we still have this gap be filled, right? This one, right? There is here what we call sell side liquidity here. But why have I marked this zone? When you come back on the 15-minute, you would see that there is an inside structure of which it might be some good push in case the market comes in and closes away, right? So you just need to see how the candlestick with this guy. Thank you for joining. See you when you see me.
Yes, guys, I also wanted to say goodbye. Those that took a loss with me, yes, we died in power. We shall come back stronger. But the narrative remains the same. However much, if this thing is still intact, this and this, look for more continuation sells. Unless otherwise, if it's violated, then we might head in for a long-term buy, long-term buy. But if it is still there and we don't have any candle closure above, stick to that. Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for turning up. I did not have a lot of time to break down pairs, but personally, I lost on the impact and also the effect. Numbers, let's refresh. Yeah, the numbers came out otherwise. You can see a change on the month-on-month line. Yeah, it shows a positive impact on the dollar at the moment. So the rest remained the same, but the change on the month-on-month core did the work. So it's a positive impact. And watch out, tomorrow we have PPI, unemployment claims. So PPI and unemployment claims might do us well on this anticipation here. So don't feel that it's a dead end because the price is still in the range. Price is still in the range. So core PPI and see, is it core PPI and unemployment claims might do us well tomorrow. So I wish you the very best. Thanks for coming through. Yeah. If price reaches here, you can take some risky sales in that zone there. That one there, you can take some risky. Me, I'm out. Have a great one.